The council met on Monday night. Just as an overview, some of the discussion centered around what?
Quite a few issues on the agenda at our meeting yesterday evening. First thing we had on the docket was there was a public hearing for a rezone request for a property at 503 East 6th Street. It's the old, I may be wrong, in this Presbyterian church, I believe, that's just south of the old elementary school. And a company purchased that. They're a trust company. And they purchased that hoping to put their offices into that location. It's currently zoned residential, and because they want to operate a business, they have requested to rezone that to B2 General Business District. The Planning Commission actually heard this on June 25th, and the Planning Commission recommended not approving the rezone to the City Council. And so the City Council heard last night from the company. There was a representative there that spoke on behalf of the company, and just to discuss their intent with the property. Then there was also some property owners in the neighborhood there that were in opposition of the rezone, and the council at the end of the day decided to deny the rezone request. There was direction from the City Council to look into possibly amending the zoning ordinance within a residential district to add a conditional use for something that might be called neighborhood commercial, or excuse me, neighborhood office is something that they want to look into. So myself and our city attorney is going to be looking into drafting some language to propose to the council at some point in the near future here. So,
can you give us an update on the 15th Street project?
Yeah, 15th Street project is on schedule. The contractor Metro Construction is back up working this week again. They're installing the water main on State Avenue. That will be followed by the storm sewer, which will follow hopefully next week. Garfield Avenue, the gravel surfaces is pretty much prepped, and today they began installing curb and gutter. They plan on having that done this week, followed by the approaches in the driveways, and then they'll be laying the full concrete surface hopefully next week is kind of the plan right now. It's dependent upon weather and their schedule. 13th Street is scheduled to be paved, I believe, tomorrow. So we'll be seeing, that would be Wednesday, the July 3rd. So that should be open and be drivable hopefully for the 4th of July weekend. And then following all of this, next week it's sounding like 15th Street is going to be seeing the asphalt surfaces be milled off, and the water main starting to go in hopefully next week. So moving up to that third phase of 15th Street. Along with the 15th Street project last night, the council approved a change order, and that was based on the previous meeting's direction to the engineer to get quotes from the contractor to not just sleeve the pipe or not just add the casing for the sewer main under the Big Sioux River, is to actually install the pipe as well. So we had a change order there that was about $25,000 for the sewer pipe, and then some other incidental things that have arisen during the project, some redesign. So there was a change order approved for that last night.
Anything other information you want to share that went on at the council meeting?
One thing I think that's important for the public to be aware of, the previous meeting we had a complaint from a citizen resident who has concern about campers, boats, trailers parked within the street, parked up against the curb, parked up against property throughout the community in the city right away. The city doesn't really necessarily have an ordinance that addresses those, but the mayor appointed a committee, and that committee went around, looked around town, and what their solution is instead of putting together some very restrictive ordinance that bans trailers from the street, puts time restrictions that makes it difficult to enforce and track time and that kind of a thing. We're not throwing all those ideas out the window, but they want to take a first approach, which is to be neighborly. If you have a camper trailer, please try to find a place to put it other than the street. The city believes that the street is there for transportation purposes, not storage purposes, and that there is places in the community where campers, boats, trailers can be stored. So we're just asking folks to be neighborly and not keep their campers parked out on the street all summer long. We understand people pull it up, getting ready for the 4th of July weekend. It might be out there overnight to get it packed up, and then they get it home and they got to unpack it, but then find a place to put it. Don't leave it there until your next camping trip. It's kind of the theory, is just reach out to folks and see if they will consider that, so that we don't have to go through the process of adopting a really restrictive ordinance.
Next meeting in July will be 2 weeks, Monday, July 15th.
July 15th, correct, is the next meeting.
Any public hearings that you know of right now?
Not at the next meeting.
Okay.
Oh, yes, there will. There's a rezone request for some future platted residential, which will be it's on the north end of town on Powderhorn Road.
Okay.
Abutting 15th and Powderhorn Road. I was just looking through my notes here. The city council actually did meet with the library board, yes, last evening, and just to discuss the moving forward with the library building project. With this new council, they haven't had an opportunity to have a discussion with the library board, and so the library board gave them an update where they're at, why they feel strongly about putting an addition and renovating the building. The big hurdle that the library board feels that they need to come to terms with the city is the relocation of the utilities, the storm sewer and the sewer that runs to the west of that building, which is right in the area where the new footprint is planned to go for the new structure. So there was discussion on that. No solid answer from the city council. The mayor did appoint a committee of 3 council members to meet with the library board and discuss possible solutions, possible scenarios, because the library board, has around $950,000 with grants and donations to put towards a building, and I know that they are looking at possibly moving forward with something sometime in the near future. There is that funding gap between what the building is planned to be constructed at, about 1.2, 1.3 million, and then the utilities involved too, that $1 million won't cover the all-inclusive package for constructing the facility. So I think they're going to meet and have further discussion on that.